Miss Amores. So today is the 24th of February 2022, and I made this fake driver's license with my picture on it and all that. I'm gonna have it in my wallet every single day so that it just encourages me, it motivates me to go get my license, because I really need this thing, and it has been long without it, but I think I'm now ready. I said I'm gonna obtain it. First issue will be the 25th of May 2022. Yeah, first issue will be 2022. So let's see, will I really get it in May, as I'm hoping I will get it. Anyways, adios mis amores.
Hola mis amores, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sij. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for discovering this channel. Please click the subscribe button, turn the red into gray, and become part of the Amores family. And you mis amores, thank you so much for always coming back to our channel. Anyways, the video you just watched was a video I made in February 2022. I made that video after listening to an audiobook by Neville Goddard, Feeling is the Secret. As I listened to that book every single day, I was encouraged to better myself. And he used to say that assume the feeling that you will have, or that you will act when you have gained or achieved your dreams. And the license was one of the things I wanted, all right? So I told myself the first step for me to do this, that time I didn't even have my learners, okay? So the first step to do this is to actually make a card, a fake card. Of course, it's right here. Is to make a fake license card which will be in my wallet every single day. It's fake, like I just put it on a card and it's fake, but I just wanted something that could encourage me, and it was in my wallet. So my second step was to now write my learners. So in March 2022, I went and I wrote my code 3 learners. But let me backtrack you guys a bit. I started learning how to drive in 2013, and then in 2020 I took my driving license seriously. So I went to Natus with a small car. I was part of a driving school, went to Natus with a small car, and I failed, but that was like my learner number 5 already, and I failed, and I kept failing the same thing, which was reverse parking. So I went back to the school, I mastered reverse parking, but now my issue was parallel parking. My issue was now parallel parking. I said, no man, I cannot be suffering like this. I was investing so much money, so much time, and every time I failed, I just got discouraged. I just lost all the energy. I just lost all the hope. So in 2021, I did my last try in February if I'm not mistaken, and then I failed. I did so well in the reverse parking, but I did so terrible in the parallel parking, so I said no more. So the whole of 2021, I just gave up. I didn't want to hear anything. Even when I went on Facebook or Instagram and I see people holding their licenses, the amount of heat, the boil that I used to get, just because like, why am I not getting mine, you know? And I was just like, no man, it doesn't work like this. Anyways, I told myself, let me do maybe code 3. Maybe I should do code C1. So I went, did my learners, got my learners for code 3 in March. I then looked for a school on Instagram. I found Nam Drive. Their prices were really good for me. For me, they're affordable. Okay, they're not as expensive, because it was a package of 10 hours inclusive of Natus. So I called them up and I told them to put me in July. That was in June, and they told me July was fully booked. I said, no problem, book me in August. So in August, I started my classes. I think from the 11th day, I started my classes with them, and then I went to Natus and I failed reverse parking on the left. I said, sharp. They were very kind actually. They gave me like 7 days, and then I came back, and then I now started on the left side, and I went in Nangma, and then I now went on the right side. I fell twice that side, sharp. Very nice again. So I went to book. That was my 6th try of license. And then I remember I used to tell myself, God, 7 is the number of completion. You rested on the 7th day. I'm also going to rest on my 7th day. 7 is the number of completion. I believe I'm not going to go to Natus after number 7. This is it. This is the number of completion. My license journey is going to come to an end. And not only that, there's a confession that I used to listen to every morning by Pastor Chris. It's 25 minutes long. But guys, the power of confession is so strong. I remember there's a part that I liked very much that says, I'm a success. How could I fail? Fail? Me? Never. Like, I just kept repeating that. It even became my alarm when it woke me up. I was taking this thing seriously. But now, talking about 7 and being the number of completion, or me achieving my license, there was a book I listened to by Florence Scovel Sheen. Florence Scovel Sheen, and she was talking in her book that you cannot pray for success and then prepare for failure. You will get what you've prepared for. That blew my mind away, because in the past, when I used to go to natives, I would pray that I would get my license, but guess what? I would constantly play scenarios in my head of, when I fail, I'm gonna go back. How many days am I gonna get? I gave so much attention to the failure than the success. So as I listened to her, I said, no more. No more. I am no longer going to be preparing for failure. So as I was praying, as I was confessing that I got my license. So before I went to drive, I think a week before I drove, I made a retreat, or had a retreat, meaning I withdrew myself from people. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I shut myself in the room and I was just talking to God. I was praying, I was reading His Word, I was listening to gospel music, listening to teachings. I just made it a weekend of God. I didn't go to church that Sunday. Lord, forgive me. But I had already told Him prior that I will not be going, because I just really wanted. And when I left, it was just so different, because I was given to drive on a Monday. So Monday came. I remember the last time I failed on my right side, and I told myself, I'm not going to start on the right, because I'm going to, forfeit my chances. Let me start on the left side. I did my reverse nicely on the left. So as I got on the right, I sat in that truck and I said, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. How can I fail? Me? Fail? Never. As I'm reversing, I kept saying those words. Me? Fail? Never. And before I knew it, I was in. And I now had to go wait, because I was booked for 8 o'clock, right? But I only got to go on the road at 5:15. So it was time for me to go on the road, because I knew that once I did the reverse parking, there was no way I was going to fail. I did the hill and went on the road. And we pulled on the side of the road, and the man told me now the instructions, and he said, at some point I'm going to tell you to do the emergency brake, but of course I'm going to check that it's clear, there are no cars coming. Cool. So we drove. He took me that side of Namib, like that side, and as we're driving, like just when my speed, when I picked up my speed, or when my speed took off, then he tells me stop. Fine. We came back, we did, he told me we are going back to Natus now. After now we've driven, of course, at the end of Namib, came back to Natus, and he said, I really like how you did your emergency brake, and I really like how you're on the road, and it shows that you have prepared. I said, not that it mattered, but this is actually my 7th try. And he was like, I'm so glad that you never gave up. So it was already late, I couldn't do my verification. So I finally did my verification, and I finally have my license in the bag. I used to imagine myself, like, when I'm told you got your license, I used to say, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I didn't cry. I was so excited, in awe. I was in like disbelief, like, did I really get my license? Am I really, really, really a licensed driver? So I got my code C1 license, and I feel like it was so much easier than the small cars. And of course I came home, and at night I think I woke up around 1 a.m. to pray, and it was in that moment that it hit me, as I was thanking God that I really had a license. And in that moment I just broke down in tears, and tears of thanksgiving, of course, because I just couldn't believe, like, this journey has come to an end, because it traumatized me. I was traumatized, people. When I tell you I was traumatized, I was traumatized by this. And I remember people used to tell me, Switch, just go outside Windhoek, go drive in Caribbean, go to Okahanja, go to Mariental. And I used to tell them I'll be stuck here, because I realized the issue was not the examiner, the issue was me. So even if I had gone to Caribbean or somewhere else and I still didn't know my parking, so I still didn't know how to drive well, I was gonna fail and spend so much money. So I just told them I will stay here, I will be stuck in Windhoek, I will get my license in Windhoek. Yeah, but people don't get license in Windhoek. I'm like, oh, and the ones who got them, where did they get them? Is it not Windhoek, or is it a different type of Windhoek? So I stayed in Windhoek and I got my license finally. I am a licensed driver. So I just want to say to you that is busy with your license, don't give up even if you fail. Okay, I don't want to scare you, but my sister got her license her 16th try, right? So you don't give up, you know. And if you really want this thing, you're not gonna give up, and fill your head with positivity. If it means don't tell, like you don't have, if it means not telling people when you're going to natives, don't, because sometimes you will tell people and they just fill your head with negativity. So don't tell them, do your thing, and this just surprise them like, booyah, I got my license. But please don't give up. Yes, if you might fail, you might not get it on your first try. Those who get it on their first try just like super blessed. But if you don't get it on the first try, doesn't that doesn't mean it's the end of the road. You keep trying and trying and trying until you get it. So every time you fail, just remember the mistake you did last time, so that you don't come and make that mistake. I feel like that was a learning curve for me. Every time I made a mistake, I made sure when I went back, I didn't make that same mistake. Anyway, Mr. Morris, I just wanted to share the news with you. Thank you so much for watching, and please click the subscribe button. Again, remember to like, leave a comment, and share. Thank you so much. Adios, Mr. Morris.